Okay, episode 3. I'm so excited.
Exciting. I know, we're still here, right? We haven't
Mhm.
disappeared,
Yeah,
so
we haven't given up yet.
we're still filming. So
Okay.
that says something.
Alright, let's go. Alright, so our little marine animal fact today is that sea otters who live like right up like usually around kelp forests, stuff like that, they have a little like pocket of skin near their armpit and they keep food in it for later. Like for a snack.
I can't tell if it's like really gross or helpful.
I feel like it'd be helpful, but like also like why your armpit?
Imagine
Like
doing a snack. Like,
yeah, like
oh, I feel like that's a bit of both, honestly.
yeah. I don't know. That's like
Would it? Wouldn't it be kind of sweaty and stinky?
like you would think so, but also they're
You
just like
would
floating in
think
the
so.
ocean. So like
So at that
I
point,
have
it's gonna
to
be sweaty and stinky
yeah,
anyway.
I have to imagine like it's not gonna make much
Oh
of
my
a
gosh.
difference.
They don't eat like live animal, like flesh, do they? Because could you imagine just like keeping steak in your like skin?
I don't think so. I want to say
Okay,
they
good.
just eat like the kelp, but
Kelp.
that could
Okay.
so be wrong actually, but it's fine.
Disclaimer: we actually don't really
Disclaimer.
know, but
Not sea otter experts.
we're, we're hoping for the sake of this fact that they're not putting meat in their skin pocket.
Ugh.
Oh,
That'd be so gross. It's fine.
oh, I feel like if we were sea otters, it would be normalized, but because we haven't really normalized that as people,
We would normalize it. Same way we
we
would
haven't.
normalize peeing out of our faces if we were lobsters.
That one, how did I forget about that one? Yeah,
That's my favorite one so far.
that one. Oh, I feel like if we normalize a lot more of these really weird animal facts, then when you would say them, you'd just be like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah.
But then when
Yeah,
you're like,
great.
"Oh, gross." Yeah. Oh, okay, that's cool. Um,
Yeah.
so without further ado,
So,
wonderful love starter.
anyways.
So while you're all thinking of kelp pockets and sea otters, we want to continue our final wrap-up kind of episode of this little season or groups of episodes on our wonderful sea expedition.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the last main topics we want to talk to you guys about is the Island of Shoals expedition. So do you want to
Yes.
start us
Yeah.
off?
Of course. Okay, yeah. So we did our little Isle of Shoals field trip. Like, what was it, like halfway through? A little bit over that, probably.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, so if we spent like 10 days on the boat, it was probably like day 6 or 7, I think.
Mhm.
So, but it's super fun. So you start in Cape Cod, obviously, on your little boat route, and you sail all the way up to Isle of Shoals in Maine. I think it's like on the line between Maine and New Hampshire. But it's a super, super cool island. So you take the little rescue boats out and you go over and you get a tour of the island by someone who works there. And it's a super, super cool island. It's actually a protected habitat. So there's a whole bunch of gulls and a whole ton of other like um, organisms that live and like are they live on the island and it's a big spot for them. So it's protected. But it's super, super cool to see. And they actually have a bunch of different internships you can do up there too, separately, which was super cool to hear about. Um, yeah, what else did we do on the field trip?
Yeah. I think that's no, the internships were a really good point. What I really liked about it was the sea expedition gave us a whole bunch of like different like things to get involved in for things we were interested in, which I thought Isle of Shoal was a really nice inclusion for expanding your
Yeah, for
journey.
sure. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
we got a tour.
we did get a tour. We got a tour
My
of the
memory
island.
is
Yeah.
failing me. It was about a month ago, a little
Yeah.
more
Oh
than
my god,
that.
that's crazy.
But
It was a month ago. Wow,
that is crazy.
that's wild. Yeah, but
But yeah.
also it's being part of that like SCA like family, I guess, or like community
Mhm.
is super, super cool, especially because it like opens you to so many opportunities like this one. So like Isle of Shoals, like I would have had no idea about Isle of Shoals
Yeah.
if I hadn't been on the boat, which was super cool. And then I think we also did some swimming. So there's like a little like, what would you call it, like a cove kind of.
I would say yeah. It's
Yeah, like it's like, or
a
like a
little
huge
pond.
tide pool maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Probably
Which was
known
super
for.
cool. So we went swimming in there, and there was a bunch of like really really cool organisms living around there that we got to check out. And we got to check out some of their like wet labs and stuff, which were so cool. I love wet labs so much. And yeah, Joe's like, yeah, sure.
I mean, I can't really talk because I was really land sick this whole day. Like I was never ever seasick on the boat, and the second I stepped foot, I was so nauseous. I
It was
remember,
the
and I was
funniest
so annoyed
thing.
because everyone was looking at the cool sharks in the lab, and I just felt so nauseous. So I'm glad
Yes.
Catherine loved it, but
Yeah, no,
I
it was so funny though, because you like, it wasn't even that long that we had been on the boat up until it was like a week maybe. And all of us got off the boat and we were like, whoa, I'm swaying. Like, you can't, like, you're falling over. It's really funny actually. Like, seasick? No. Land sick, please.
yeah, no, I was fine in the storm, but geez, when we hit Isle of Shoals, that was a challenge.
It was funny.
Living
Yeah,
on land.
yeah, it was a time for sure. It was a time.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah,
Uh,
so
okay, what else were you saying? Yeah, but they also had cool things for. I don't know. Their internship projects were really expansive.
they were super cool.
Yeah, they had like diving opportunities. They had
Mhm.
research things. They had things for like university kids, high school
Mhm.
kids. Super long. I mean, literally anything you could want, and it was such a tiny island.
It
So
was
I was
super
really
super
impressed,
cool.
honestly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And basically, their programs are college classes. So if you take one as a high schooler, they're like I want to say 2 weeks. If you want more information, I go to their website. Don't listen to us. But I want to say their programs are like 2 weeks, and it's essentially like a college class. That
Yeah.
it's super super cool though. So go check them out if that's something you're interested in. But also, I mentioned that they had a ton and ton of wet labs that I thought were really interesting. Just want to clarify, if you don't know what a wet lab is, it's essentially just a research lab, but there's like tanks and stuff with like aquariums.
Oh yeah.
Just
It
to
smells
clarify.
like a fish market. So
Yeah,
if you're nauseous,
great place to be.
I'm sick. Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but so that was super super fun. I enjoyed that a lot.
I think it was a good time.
Yeah.
Nice little mix. But I think that's pretty much it for Isle of Shoal.
Yeah, that was Isle of
Yeah.
Shoals.
But basically, just to say that yeah, there were so many other things we did in the sea program, not just on the boat, which was pretty great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think then the other topic we want to cover are the amazing connections we made on the boat. So
Yes. Okay,
so
so
we go,
I'll
or do you want
start.
to?
So
Okay,
we can
good.
start with just like an overview of like the crew that's going to be on the boat with you. So if you go, there's going to be a whole bunch of different people who help keep the boat up and running. And while you're there, you're actually part of the crew, so you are helping keep the boat up and running. But but so for one of these high school expeditions, you're going to have a captain, you're going to have 3 mates. I want to say first mate, second mate, third mate. Don't know if those are the official ones. I know there's first mate and second mate.
Something like that. Yeah.
There's another mate too.
Yep.
Because there's 3
There's
watches.
3 of them.
Um, and then you're gonna have deckhands, which basically just help with the deck, stuff like that. You're gonna have stewards, which help in the galley, so they cook all the food and everything like that. And so stewards cook the food, you help clean up from the food. You're gonna have chief scientist, and you're gonna have regular scientists, which are important. Yeah. Help you do some research.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's it. So each wash is gonna have a mate, a deckhand, and a scientist, and then if the captain or the chief scientist is around, they will also be up there usually helping out. But yeah, so that's a basic like overview of everyone who's gonna be on the ship with you. Oh, engineers too. So there's stewards in the galley, and then there's engineers in the
We
engine
had
room.
2. But
Yes, because if the engine breaks down and we don't have any engineers, we're all screwed.
Ooh.
So, you need a couple of those.
put them on the list.
Put them on the list.
The list.
Yeah, add them to the crew. But yeah, so if you want to talk about like some connections you made and stuff.
Some connections. So
Yeah.
no, I just know the past 2 episodes we would just say like, oh yeah, our deckhands, and I don't really think anybody knew what we were talking about.
Yeah.
So just so you know, yeah, you had about 3 staff members, and they were on you with your watch, and then you had the extra. It wasn't a watch; it was a group of like others, and they were on.
Yes.
at different times. But that was pretty much it. Pretty self-explanatory. And yeah, so the connections. All right, great. So, I do think mainly a lot of kids, depending on kind of if they were more interested in like the science part of being on watch or the deck part of being on watch or both, they would develop like these amazing connections with their chief scientists and their deckhands. Like I know one day all I wanted to do, oh my gosh, I loved the deck part of the boat, I will be honest. And so I asked my deckhand, oh yeah, the deckhand, the titles. We didn't really call them like chief or
No, we
first and second
didn't.
mate, to be honest.
No, we
But I asked
didn't.
my second mate, like, oh, would you like help me with these notes? And I'll like bring my notebook up and take some notes. And so I honestly, I think the number one connection I made were just like these amazing mentors. It wasn't like this like kind of formal teacher kind of connection. It was just like they were your mentors or like counselors kind of.
Hmm.
And it was great. I mean, you would just ask them anything under the sun, and they were like these libraries. And I thought that was just so amazing.
It was so so cool, yeah. Especially because these are people that are you like I would never meet otherwise,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, especially as a high school student, like maybe I could do a Wikipedia search, but yeah, like all their knowledge was right there, and you just had to like ask them. So
Yeah, and it was so cool too because all of us were going to high school. Most of us hadn't done college applications yet or anything. So if you were looking for colleges, like you could, like I know I did this personally but I would like ask around and I'd be like, hey, like where'd you go to college? And they'd all tell
mm.
me, and I was like, so did you like it? And all of them had like raving reviews about their colleges. So,
That's pretty good.
but yeah, it's super cool the connections that you can make with some people because you're living with them for 2 weeks, so you have to get close fairly
Oh
quickly,
yeah,
or it's
that's
gonna go poorly.
I remember our captain said something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, you're gonna have some pretty great trusting relationships because your life is in their hands. You go to
Oh
sleep and
yeah,
you wake up, and they're in charge of the boat while
yeah.
you're sleeping. So
Well,
those connections are a lot stronger than the ones you'll find on land."
yeah, no, seriously, it's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. But yeah, it's super cool because you sort of like gravitate like once you're on the boat you sort of gravitate towards what you're super interested in. So like I know Charlotte spent a lot of time on deck and I spent a lot of time in lab, so I got really close with our scientist on our watch. And yeah, it was great. We had such a good connection with like yeah, it's just such a good like community.
Yeah, it really was. And I don't know, I would just say also too, I think like everyone, every single staff member, even if they weren't on your watch, I don't know, they were just so, well, I mean, they had to be helpful, but they were so kind of welcoming. I mean,
Yeah.
like you wouldn't be scared about asking anyone for help, anyone who was passing by. So I think that was this
No.
other element, not only of this kind of like teaching relationship you had, but also like they were there if you needed
Yeah,
help because
for
everything has to
sure.
go smoothly. So
Yeah, everyone was
yeah.
like so easy to talk to. Like if you
Oh
have a
yeah.
question, literally you just like pull someone over like, "Hey, how do you do
Yeah.
this?" And they're so willing to
Please help
teach
me.
you and help you and to like help you learn. And it's just so amazing. Like it's such a great feeling. It's such a great like so I mean I've
Yeah.
already said it's like a sense of community, but it literally is. Like
I mean, it is. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a community of like 37 people that you put on a boat. So
Yeah.
it's pretty tight. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I don't really know anywhere else on land where like in 2 weeks you can find people who I don't know are so open to teaching you anything or helping you with anything. Like those are two really great things to have. Like in connections that you find. And I just thought the people at sea and the staff at sea did that so extremely well. So
Yeah. And these people are
pretty
so
lucky.
like passionate about their jobs
Yeah,
too. Like that you can tell like they love being there. They love what they're doing. And
yeah,
it's great cuz you get some of that enthusiasm and you're like, "Okay, like I love what you're doing. Like teach me what you're
yeah.
doing."
Oh, 100%, 100%. It was I'd say very contagious. It's kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
just I don't know. It wasn't even just like an inclusion. It was like you're just sharing everything.
Yeah, it's yeah,
That was
it's such great
great.
like energy. Like the energy is always
Yeah,
so good.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It was actually
Hmm.
really funny because I had anchor watch. We had I think it was night watch. I want to say it was night watch, and I
Yeah.
had this shift that was like 11 to 1,
Oh,
I think is
nice.
what it was. And so I was out there for anchor watch, so it was just 2 hours, and it was me and one other guy. and then it was our scientist who's out there too. And anchor watch, we've been over this, like, you don't do a whole ton. You gotta check the boat every half hour, right? And so in our free time, I would just be like lying there looking at the stars or something. And so like halfway through, our scientist was like, hey, like, do you guys want to play a game? We were whispering because it was quiet and it was peaceful, right? So we were like, hey, she was like, hey, do you want to play a game? And we were like, yeah, for sure. Me and this other guy who was on watch with me, we were like, yeah, for sure. Like, let's play a game, right? And so she ended up teaching us this game that I actually still love to this day. It's called, is it more like a pancake or a waffle? And it's like the hardest game, but it's so fun. And so it's basically you like think of an object, and the other person has to ask the question, like, okay, is it more like a pancake or a waffle? And you have to choose,
Okay.
and then they're like, okay, is it more like a pancake or a book, you know? And so you go through until they guess what the object is. And we must have played it like 4 rounds, and it took us ages, but it was so fun.
Huh. Wait, so
Yeah.
you kind of keep going until, so you say, so then if someone says waffle, wait.
So, like, I would think of an object,
Okay.
and then you would ask me, okay, is your object more like a pancake or a waffle?
Yeah.
So, if my object is, like, a tree, I'd be like, okay, it's more like a waffle. And be, okay, is it more like a waffle or, you know, whatever else you think of?
Ah.
Till you get
See,
that I was
that's
thinking of a tree.
That is quite a good game.
Yeah, it takes
Interesting.
ages, though. It's so
It-
hard. But it was good to pass the time,
It
so...
was, yeah. Oh my gosh, speaking of things that took ages to pass the time, and another little aspect of community. Remember when we had that wonderful little storm that wasn't so little and wasn't so wonderful?
It wasn't so little and wasn't so wonderful.
It wasn't either, though. It was pretty awful and long. And a lot of us were feeling quite ill, and we just sang, oh, what was it, like 99 bottles of beer on the wall or
Oh
something.
my god,
and it
yeah.
was, and we read a whole bunch of, we read like The Grinch That Stole Christmas, and it was, I don't know, that was such a, I don't know, that's such a
It
central
was such a
kind of
good bonding.
moment of community on Sea for Me. Yeah, because everyone kind of just chipped in to, like, you know, pass the time.
We got
Huh.
to like 74 bottles of beer on the wall or something.
Yeah, we did.
We started writing haikus. There's a lab haiku book.
Oh yeah.
We started writing haikus. I had like a 3-paragraph haiku going.
It was a good one. It was really good.
And one of the lines of 7 syllables was from Charlotte, actually, featuring Charlotte. It was, and I quote, raining, 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 rains.
The moment it captured the essence, I think. Oh my gosh, but it definitely did. No,
Yeah.
I never even thought about that before, though, about how I guess you obviously have to bond on sea because, you know, you have these 2 weeks together and you want to create this nice community to work with. But I didn't even think about, like, just passing the time together,
Mhm.
playing pancake or waffle, or, you know, singing songs to
Yeah.
make someone feel better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty-
We also
pretty
did a
nice.
lot of like bracelet making in our spare time. There was
I
like a
guess
thing
that
of
is a
string
sense
in
of
one of the
community
drawers.
building. Oh yeah.
I had like four different bracelets on my ankles. I had like 16 more finished ones in my bunk. Like it was crazy.
Oh yeah.
You just
We
put them
were
on your
all-
water
I learned
bottle.
A lot of bracelet types. Yeah, it was a learning opportunity. I think even some of the guys started to learn.
Yeah, they did. Oh my god. Yeah, we tried to teach. Yeah, we tried to teach one of the guys how to make one
I think it was
for his
successful, though.
girlfriend. Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
cute. It was like the little one with like the hearts, and we tried to teach him how to make it for his girlfriend. It was a little rough, but we did do it.
I was pretty proud, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah.
And then whatever. So that was a little sum up of the amazing and unique relationships between the kids or the students and the crew. But what about between the students and the students? Well, I mean, if this isn't already an example of
Yeah, I feel like this is already like
Okay.
students and students. We're all
Yeah.
best friends now.
we are. Oh yeah, we pretty much are.
Yeah. It's crazy actually. Like, I mean, I honestly, when I first went to that, I did not think that coming out I was gonna actually talk to any of these people again. And here we are, like episode 3 of a podcast I started with a girl I met on the boat. Like,
Yeah, who knew? I mean,
it's crazy.
I don't know. I think this really kind of speaks volumes to just the kind of people you meet on the boat. Like, they're so like-minded.
Mhm.
I mean, they're so like-minded that, you know, Kat and I were like, let's just make a podcast. We're like, yeah, okay, we're doing it now.
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. you know, and you kind of know them so well, which is kind of weird because you know them like really, really well in like certain aspects. You know what I mean?
It's a super funny
like,
way
live
that
with
you
them.
know them though, because like
Yeah.
I could tell you Charlotte's like deepest, darkest like hopes and dreams, but could not tell you if she had any siblings. Like by the end of that trip, like nope.
I, I don't know your favorite color. I do not know your address. I don't know the name of your school, but boy, do I know why you're on that boat and what you want to do with your life.
Yes, and it's like such a fun little like.
It really
it's such a
is.
funny way of knowing someone.
It really is. I guess.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, because like everyone else, you start and you're like, oh, like nice to meet you. Like, what's your favorite
Yeah.
color? Where do you go to school? And here
Yeah.
it was just like, so what do you want to be when you grow up? Like,
So
tell
why
me
do
all
you
your
care?
aspirations.
Sediments. Yeah.
Why do you care about sediments?
Why are you here? It's a grab. What is driving you? No, yeah, because well, especially for kids our age, when you kind of make friends, I mean, it's through friends of friends, through school, through
Mhm.
other kind of programs that are like daytime or even sleepaway, but kind of, you know, like maybe boarding school kind of things or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know. I definitely feel like we're pretty spread out, you know, and we probably won't see each other that much. But I mean, it's true what our captain said. You know, if we ever see each other again, we have this whole kind of sense of like, oh my gosh, like this brought us together in ways that like seeing my
Yeah.
friends from, you know, old kids that I used to go to school with probably would not because I don't know. We kind of worked to survive and make this trip happen. So
Yeah.
it was such a team effort. We weren't even aware of it, honestly.
Yeah, and now I'm like so invested. Like if I ever see any of you like
100%.
again, like in person, I'm gonna be like, tell me what you did with your life.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh,
tell me, I need to know.
Oh, 100%. Oh my gosh. I don't know how this would happen, but if I see the Kramer docked at any port, I am running up to it.
Running. Yes, I was just in Boston the other day, and I was right by like where we docked. I was right by where we docked, and I was like, oh my god, like that's where we docked my like the ship. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I still get all the email notifications. I'm like, what's still going on with
Me
everybody?
too. Me too. I'm like,
How are
what's
people
going on?
doing?
Following the Instagram. I'm like,
Let
ooh.
me know. Interesting. But definitely. So I don't know if that hasn't sold anyone already about connections are. I don't really know what will because I truly don't think there's anything that can really parallel to the kinds of connections you make on a boat for 2 weeks at sea.
For sure. Yeah. Go sail on the Kramer, guys. It was like one of the best experiences I've ever had.
Yeah. Yeah. Or what was another moment where we were mustering on the quarterdeck for like the first time ever, and our captain said he had a lot of pretty great speeches. I'll be
Yeah, he
honest.
did.
A lot of resonated with me, but he said, you know, like you're looking around now, you don't really know people that well, but then you're gonna look around on our final closing ceremony, and you're gonna know everyone so well, and that was
It is so true.
yeah. I mean, obviously it was true, but yeah,
Yeah. So.
pretty nice to have.
Well, I think that's a wrap for today.
I think it is a slightly shorter episode, but hopefully treats of original footage on the boat. Shot
Oh,
by
yes.
yours truly,
On our YouTube, go check it out.
Catherine. Oh yeah, those will be coming out, so that's a little special treat.
Mhm.
Mhm.
For sure. Okay. Well,
Alrighty.
episode 3. That's a wrap.